Hello and welcome back to another episode of Castle Farms Homestead.
Woohoo!
Today we are working on prepping the ground for the slab for the pump house.
Prepping for the pump house
/ battery room, because you're gonna hook the solar
should
up
have a
to
better
it.
name than just pump house, because it's got the water and it'll be pumping, but it's also going to have all the solar stuff is in it too. So it'll be our utility shed.
Yeah, utility shed.
Yeah,
that works.
Our utility shed, new name. There you go. You were here for it. The naming of the utility shed. All right, so what we've done first of all is we've laid out the position of our utility shed. And we've got our pink stakes here that kind of shows it. The dimensions are going to be 14 by 24. It's got to be big enough so that it fits these huge water tanks, 3,000 gallons each, that are 8.5 feet wide, and I think they're right about 8 feet tall. So they've got to be able to fit 2 of those in. We've got to have enough space for the pressure tank and pipes, and sometime in the future I'm also installing another pump for some watering purposes. But and then on the other end we got to have space enough for all the solar stuff, batteries and inverters and all that stuff. So it's 14 by 24. Tanks are going to go here and here, and that will leave about just over 4 foot space here that we can put our pressure tank in and pipes and all that to go out. And that'll leave also down here then a 5 foot space for mounting all the solar stuff on this end. Door's going to be over here. Probably going to put a little window in it as well, so it just doesn't look like a big box. Not that we need a window in it, but so what we're going to do first of all is we're going to dig a hole here where we're going to drop in 3 pipes that'll be our in and out water pipes. So we're going to drop those down about 3.5 feet and stub them out and then backfill all that in. So I'm going to get the backhoe. We're going to dig some holes.
We're using this line to mark the exterior edge of the wall. We know that when the wall is completed, it will be 8 inches thick. And so we know that we have to bring the pipes in further than that. We're going to bring them in about 1 foot. So they're not right up against the wall in case we got to do anything around them. And like I said, we're just using this line to mark the edge of the exterior wall.
So that board is going to be our support piece to hold our pipes. We drop them in, secure them 1 foot away.
We want these pipes to extend 3.5 feet below ground and 1 foot above ground. So I will be cutting 4.5 foot sections off of each of these pipes. And then we want them to extend 1 foot out beyond the edge of the wall. And since we've got them set 1 foot in, I'll have to cut 2 foot segments off of these pipes as well, so that we can make that nice turn down at the bottom. Ooh, that is not a straight cut at all. Man, there's this one, and I thought this one was better. Sheep. Rough.
Come on, Brady. All right, come on. Let's get a straight cut here. Here we go.
I thought I had it straight up and down, but
here we go. Well,
better.
Oh my gosh, Brady, come on.
That's
terrible.
Oh my gosh. I'm blaming the blade. The blade's crooked.
Yeah.
Well, it is actually. So.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my goodness. You got yourself
I
good
just brought
there.
it across and just swiped it on there. Oh well. I guess I can't go to church in that. Bridge is blown away.
Oh, God.
Run, Brady, run! Run, you litterer! Run! So the reason I got the 2-inch pipe, the 1.5 is going to be the input and output for basically the whole property, the house and other places as well. We're going to have it on a pressurized system and just run it all off of there. We're putting the tanks in because that's basically just going to be reserve water. We could technically just run it straight from the pump, from the well, but I like the idea of having that reserve in case something happens to the well or whatnot. We've got a reserve of water that we can be using while we get things fixed. This piece, the 2-inch piece, this is for, I'm hoping to be able to use a little extra land to maybe graze some sheep or cows on or something. And so I want to be able to run a big pipe over to that area if we're going to be trying to grow grass on it and whatnot. So we won't be using this right away, but hopefully in the future sometime here we'll be able to use that. But I wanted to put it in first now so that we have it and it's ready to use when we do use it, if we use it. I'm going to start filling a bit.
Okay. Before
I do, is there anything else? I don't want to start filling it and then go, oh, we forgot this.
I love that that's your voice of yourself.
No, that was your voice. What do you mean?
That was you.
That was you trying to correct me. Oh, you forgot this. Wasn't thinking, Brady.
What? What did we forget to do?
These needed to be more like 19 inches
tall
above ground level.
We'll just have to throw connectors on them and extend them up.
I know. Because now they're going to be like 4 inches.
Oh, with a slab, huh?
Oh, well.
Actually,
it'll be over. It'll be over it, so you'll still be able to do it.
The next step here is to dig a little trench about a shovel's width wide and a couple inches deep.
Actually, we're going to put our frame up first.
Okay, apparently we're putting the frame up first. Forget what I was saying.
So we know where to dig our trench. Well, we could do it just by the line, I guess. Okay. It'd be easier to dig before the frame goes up. Let's do that.
Yeah. So the next step is to dig a little trench about a shovel's width wide, a couple inches deep, all the way around the edge. But Clint was just noticing that he's having some trouble getting the shovel on the ground.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. We got a couple inches. I wanted to try to go down about another 5 inches, but it is frozen. So we can get, that's about 2 inches probably. 2.5. So our slabs, our frames are 2x8s. So that's 7.5 inches or so. And then if we can get another 2.5 inches, we're pushing 10 inches deep on our sides. That'll be good. That'll give us a good strong border. So do you think we're crazy? Do you think 10 inches will do it? Are we stupid? We're stupid, I know that. And we're crazy, so. But I think that'll work. Okay, let's do it.
Clint started to dig out here, but then realized that the lines were just close. He hadn't really squared it up properly, so we decided to go ahead and check, see how close we actually were. Pretty far off, turns out. Good enough for putting the pipes in, but not for really marking the trench out yet. So we had just finished adjusting the lines so it's actually squared up properly, everything's the right size. Trying to dig, it's hard to dig. So I convinced him to use the backhoe instead of just doing it by hand. I'm like, look, if we just use the backhoe, we can scrape off what we need right there. So that's what we're doing now. When Clint started scraping everything with the backhoe. He was repositioning himself. I was clearing out those trenches that he hit. And I noticed that I could kind of get under that top layer now that had been broken into a little bit more. And so I was able to get that corner a bit better and everything. And then just this whole section right here, just by shovel, just sliding across whatever has thawed about an inch, 2 inches down, has all thawed, and that's coming up. And just sliding across the frozen stuff.
Okay, we've got our trenches dug, and we still have a little bit of time here today left. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay out that mesh, wire mesh, concrete mesh, and fit it for going inside here. We're not going to actually leave it there because we're actually going to put in a layer of insulation first, and then this wire mesh will go on top of that. So, but we want to get it laid out, so we cut it the right size, straighten it out so that it'll lay flat, and then we can set it out on the day before we're going to pour.
Sounds good.
Trenches look good.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think that's just giving us a good 2.5 inches of extra depth there. We're going above ground, like I said, about 8 inches. So that'll be a good 10-inch thickness there around the edges. So that'll be good. Cut. There's probably a technique to all this that concrete guys know. They're like, oh yeah, you just do this.
Yeah.
Or we could just be totally on top of the technique with the stamp on and bend and catch it in your pant leg and
almost take it in the eye.
Whack you in the head method.
And all the pros watching on, that's exactly what we do.
Hey, those guys are good. How'd they learn our secret techniques?
So we've got the trench for the concrete dug out a bit. We've got the what was that? Concrete mesh.
Concrete mesh down.
Well, we're gonna cut
Although
more.
we're pulling it out.
We're pulling it out.
Probably put some more in too, but because it's not going there, it's going in on top of the insulation that we're going to be putting in.
We're measuring it out, stuff like that.
Getting it ready.
But right now we're going to be making the concrete forms.
Yep. It's about what? Let's see. It was Saturday when we were last here, so it's what? 3 days later that we're back on this, and it's a warm day, but it's windy. But man, it's warm.
Yeah.
Well, we're
comparatively.
Comparatively. I still got my hoodie on, so try to keep the wind off me. But yeah, I'm gonna put the forms down and get them level and square and everything else. Yeah, that's next. So what we're gonna do is we're going to start at this corner, start putting the frames together, and then we can, from this corner, level out and work our way around so everything's level. So we'll just start attaching these boards together and go from there.
We've got a whole video about making and squaring and setting that frame that we then just pulled out and are now ripping apart for this one instead. Clearly,
it was good practice.
This one's a lot bigger than that first one.
It was good practice. It's looking fairly straight, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks good.
You're not looking.
I looked! I'm putting it together. I can't not look.
Yeah, you can't see it from the end. Look at the string.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
We don't want pretty good. We want perfect.
That's not true at all.
Shh, quiet. As far as they know, it's perfect. Oh my gosh,
It's perfect.
that is perfect.
It is perfectly level.
It is pretty dang. Now let's just check level. Let's see how we're doing.
That's not somehow suddenly thrown off.
Yeah.
Darn it, that's perfect.
Doggone it, that's perfect.
Spot
As far
on.
as you know.
As far as I know,
it
too.
is. It really is.
I mean, this one's perfect, too. Yeah.
You can't get much more perfect, really. I mean, if that bubble moved like 1/100th of an inch more.
But in between the lines is level. Right? Right?
Yeah. It looks really good. Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Just keep saying that word over and over again. Perfect.
And manifesting it.
Dang, that's perfect. So we just measured our diagonals and we're off on our diagonals. One direction, it's 28 or 27 and an eighth. And this way it's 27. 20.
They're off.
They're off by a couple inches or stuff. So anyway, we just need to tweak the frame a little bit and get those diagonals so that they're exactly the same, so we know that our foundation is square, and then we're going to go through and make adjustments to level some more.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
It's really great when we do things correctly.
There's a good feeling involved with that.
Uh-huh.
That's for sure. Okay, let's put a couple more of these in to secure her up.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what do you think? How'd that go?
That went very well.
I agree.
Quickly and easily.
Not too bad at all. I was a little bit worried. I thought we'd have a whole lot of adjusting and readjusting and readjusting and readjusting to do, but as it worked out, it went pretty smooth.
I think we made more adjustments on the first one, the small one.
Well, that one kind of set us up. I mean, that oh, you mean when we did the small?
When we did the small one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think it helped having those long metal stakes, because that really secured it.
Yeah.
Whereas before, when we've used the wooden stakes, they're kind of
a little bit of play in them.
Play a little bit, and so then you're fussing with that. So I think that really helped us a lot. But it all looks good. Everything's straight, level, plumb, square, all those words that are good.
All the good ones. We cut some extra pieces of the concrete mesh to fill in that last bit down there where the first piece didn't quite reach all the way, and then to fill in the space between the two pieces. And then Clint, earlier, you see him back there, cut some pieces of rebar that we're going to pound into the ground in the trench area, so that when we lay the rebar out along it, we can tie the rebar to those pieces in the ground, and it'll be elevated up off the ground, allow the concrete to flow in under it, and actually secure it properly.
Amen. That's about right.
About near perfect. Again, we're so good at everything we do.
All right, let's pound those in.
Clinton has here one of the insulation panels that we will be using to insulate the floor of the utility shed.
Yep, this is some polyiso insulation panels, 3 inches thick. It's my understanding you get close to a R7 value on these, insulation value. So that'd be an R21 of insulation we'll put underneath the slab. So that'll help.
So you get an R7 per inch.
Per inch. Did I
Yes.
miss that?
You missed that.
Let me, R7 per inch, 3 inches, R21.
Yes. We got the. I mean, honestly, I think if you just get this middle one actually straight with that one.
Well, I would like this over further.
Then why do you suggest cheating it over? He suggests it. I offer an easy way to do it. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. What's your suggestion?
It was brainstorming. Brainstorming. So we're getting ready to cut our insulation panels for the last few pieces. They need to be close, right about 6 feet, actually 73 inches is what we're going to do them. So they'll fit in the last pieces there. To do that, we're going to run it on the table saw at that mark. But one thing that we have to deal with, we found out when we were building that cattle panel hoop house, is that when we ran our miter saw, even though the amount of wattage that it took to run that miter saw was less than what the inverter of our solar generators put out, it would still trip it every once in a while. Sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. And that was because when you first hit that saw, turn it on, it spikes and requires a lot more wattage to get started. And that would spike too much and kick it off. So since then, we have purchased now this GS10 soft starter. And what this does is it prevents that initial kick. So, you know, with our, typically I saw you hit that button and boom, it turns on, starts going. But with this soft starter, what should happen, we haven't even tried it yet, this is our first time doing it, is it should start up slowly. So it doesn't have that initial spike, that surge of power. It'll turn on and start going. So we just have to wait a second, let it kick up, and then start going. So let's keep our fingers crossed that it works with the saw here. Like I said, we haven't tried it before. We'll see what happens. There we go. It works.
Looks like a spotlight on the mountains right there. And then fifth wheel's in the way, but the sun's setting behind it. Looking nice. That was very pretty. That was very cool looking.
Gorilla. Well, you missed all of this fun, but it went pretty smooth. We got our plastic down over the insulation panels, and then on top of that we put our mesh, concrete mesh. There you can see that. And now we're just going around and putting in some more stakes just to secure those edges so that they don't bow out when we're pouring the concrete. And then we should be good to go. Yeah, we had to turn on the lights from the truck just so we could see to finish up here. Got dark. But coming along.
Good morning!
Today's an exciting day because we're getting concrete on our slab.
You can see our neighbors working hard and helping us while we stand here to talk.
We're going to stand here and talk and film and let him do all the work.
Uh-huh.
So that looks good.
That's good, man.
Okay, well, we got to get busy, so this is awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
this is it.
Lance, you're doing great work. We're just going to watch you while we film, okay?
That'll be ideal.
He's like, good, stay out of my way.
Good.
now we start over. Now it's time to
Sun's going behind the clouds again.
start
I'll put my
finishing
jacket
it. We'll let the expert Lance
That's me.
get in there. Start smoothing it out with the long trowel there. Ooh, smooth out of concrete.
2 or 3 gallons, we need it right.
on.
Good job.
See, that's
I
why.
blew it, Lance.
I said, quit screwing it up.
Lance told me to do it. Lance's fault.
You thought you were going to do one.
Yeah, 1 pass, that was it.
I told you I had to screw it up a little bit.
Hey, you gotta call it your own.
Lance did the same thing I did, so hey, I saw him.
And it's done.
It's done.
We've got the slab.
There you go. Got it all finished off and ta-da! Yeah, so it all went pretty smooth. It was a little slow hardening, so hopefully it's hard enough now that, well, in a little while, here we're going to have to put the blankets on it.
Yep.
Concrete blankets on it. So I think it's hard enough that it won't mar it up with the blankets, but should be good. And then we'll leave those on for about 2 days, and should be good to take all the forms off then. Should be good. So everything went pretty well. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it went quick and easy.
Yeah, especially since Lance did most of the work.
Yeah, I'm the finishing.
I thought we were going to be doing more finishing work, but Lance had his tools. He only had 1 set of tools, so he did it, which was great. We got to watch him and learn. It's our first slab we've done, so I think next time we'll feel pretty comfortable pretty much doing it ourselves. We'll just have to round up some tools and stuff, and we'll be able to get her done ourselves.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, went well. So we're excited to build a building on here. Now get that utility shed done.
Yeah.
It's an exciting day because we just got back from a long weekend, and we've had our concrete slab covered this whole time. And so now we're excited to see what it looks like. It's time to uncover the slab. There we go.
Look at that.
She's all uncovered. Don't get it dirty. Don't break it. Looks pretty good.
Not too shabby. Castle Farms. You see the December 20th, 2023 right there. You have to do it twice because this one's going to be majority covered by the wall.
I realized halfway through on this one that the wall is going to be covering up to about right here.
We're taking the forms off now.
It's the next day. Looking good. Time to get busy. Get these forms off and see what it really looks like. I'm excited. Woo! That one doesn't even have a... It was just sitting there. We didn't even have a screw in it. I don't know what it was doing. Nothing, apparently. Looking pretty.
It was just an extra brace in case things shifted.
This one didn't have a screw either.
That one? What were you doing?
What the heck?
You guys want an idea of how work goes around here. You'll notice I'm about 2.5 walls done. He hasn't finished one, and half of his doesn't even have screws in them.
I'm being much more thorough. I'm taking the screws out. He's just leaving them in. I'm pulling stuff out of the way. Or I'm leaving screws in. I didn't even get the screw out of that one.
You guys see what I'm dealing with?
Ugh.
1, 2, 3. Ta-da!
Aha!
It's a good looking cement slab right there, or concrete slab, whatever the dry one's called.
Concrete. Cement is what you put in concrete, along with sand, and gravel. That looks good.
Looks very good.
Ooh, see it shake?
Does it shake?
No. So we built up these edges so they're about 10 inches thick between the little ditch we put in the ground and 7+ inches of form. They're about 10 inches thick on the sides, and so they're about 7.5 inches above grade right now, but we're going to be backfilling dirt in around this so that it won't be so high, but that'll keep it elevated from grade level if there happens to be a flood or anything like that. Hopefully it'll keep it up.
Well, folks, that's it for the concrete slab for now. Next up,
So in a week or so, we'll start construction on it. Continue to let it have time to cure and everything, and then we'll get started building on it. So for now, our attention is going to be turned towards prepping for our clinic build. So,
well, guys,
thanks for coming.
if you liked the video, be sure to like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe, most importantly, share this video with people.
Yeah.
And you can see how we got one step closer.
We hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, because we did. We had a good time. It was nice. But now it's back to the grindstone, but hopefully you guys had a great one. And New Year's is coming up. You can set New Year's resolutions. I hope some of your New Year's resolutions include steps that you can take to get one step closer all the time to your goals. And hopefully we can help you in some way to want to build your homestead, start some gardening, do whatever you can to prepare for the future, to become more self-reliant and independent. That's our goal. So thanks for coming. We really appreciate you guys that are watching, both of you. And we'll see you next time on Castle Farms Homestead.